time is the most precious and valuable resource that you have. Like in this life, in this time-space reality, you can get smarter, you can get wiser, you can get richer, but you can't get younger. You can't get more time. Time is finite. You only have so much time in this planet, in this life, in this body. You only have so much time as you.
The Mindspo podcast.
What do you see with your mind's eye?
Welcome back. Let's elevate. Roll your shoulders up and back. Unclench your jaw. Elongate your spine as you take a deep breath in. And now, exhale. Now take your mind to that person, place, or thing that you have gratitude for, and start to feel into the joy available to you at all times. Elevate into a higher vibration as we expand together and dive into this conversation.
Welcome back to the Mindspo podcast. My name's Rochelle Fox and I am your host. And today we are deep diving into a solo episode. And today's solo episode, we're going to be deep diving into my mindset. I want to share with you some of the fundamental shifts, what I like to call the mind shifts, that have really shaped my life and helped me become the person that I am today. And when I think about what it is that I want to share with you on this podcast, I want to share with you things that are going to help you elevate, that are going to help you expand. That's why you might notice at the beginning of this podcast, every single episode, you will hear me say, take a deep breath in, roll your shoulders back, elongate your spine, release your jaw, expand your vibration, your heart, your energy into something that you are grateful for. Like I want this podcast to feel like a deep exhale, to feel like it lifts up your energy and it releases all the things that no longer serve you so that you can just start moving towards the things that actually light you up. So you can start living the life that you really want to be living. That is like my highest vision for you. I want you to be healthy, wealthy, abundant. Like I want you to freaking thrive in your life. And in order to get you to that place, I feel like the best thing I can do is just really download the things that have helped me get to that place. Because this is where I am in my life right now. Yes, I have ups and downs and good days and bad days. And I'm definitely not always like a high energy vibe. I struggle as well and I have moments of stress, but generally like day to day these days, I am so much more happy, so much more centered, so much more elevated than I used to be. And there have been so many fundamental things that have helped me get to where I am today. And these are all what I would say are the foundations of my mindset, the foundations of how I live my life. And the first thing that is the foundation, if you listened to my first ever podcast episode, and if you haven't, I highly recommend that, my Pain to Purpose journey. The first thing that helped me and shaped me in this journey is meditation. Meditation is what transformed my life. It's what saved my life. It is what continues to serve me on a day-to-day basis. I literally just came out of meditation. It gets me high on life and excited just to be here. Without meditation, I struggle. I really do. I like to say that meditation is my medication. And then from meditation, from that place of stillness, from that place of understanding that I'm not the voice inside my head, there have been all these foundational mind shifts that have helped me and shifted my vibration. They've shifted the way that I see life. They've shifted the way that I show up on a day-to-day basis. And I want to start downloading those mind shifts to you on this podcast. I really want to start taking the things that, I learned maybe 10 years ago that have gotten me to where I am today and then giving them to you so you can install them into your own mind, so you can elevate into your highest timeline, to the place that you want to be. And that looks different for everyone. I really want to say that. I want you to understand that what works for you and what you want in your life is going to be so different to someone else, and own and respect that. And just know that this is about your life feeling good to you, not looking good on Instagram or looking good for the neighbors or your mother or whoever it is. It's just about life feeling good for you, in alignment to you and your goals and what you want in your life. So Before I dive into the mind shift that I want to talk about today, I do want to say, if you really want to super speed this kind of process that we're on the podcast, and you really want to dive into the work and start embodying some of the things that I'm teaching, I really want to give a shout out to Mindspo's foundational program. And that is called the Mindspo Meditation Method. Now, this is my course. This is my foundational course. This is the thing that I teach that saved my life, transformed my life. This is my greatest gift that I could give to you. And if you haven't already joined the Mindspo Meditation Method, I want to just give that program a shout out and a little universal nudge to you today. I will put it in the show notes because in order to install a new way of being, to adapt and to embody all of these mind shifts, I really do feel like you need to start with some mental clarity, with some control over that voice inside your head. And the best way I know how to control that voice inside my head is meditation. And if you do sign up to the Mindspo Meditation Method, where you'll learn how to meditate, you'll get a mantra, and you'll also get access to our 66-day meditation challenge, in that whole program, there's also a bunch of bonus ebooks. And what I'm going to be talking about today is one of the mind shifts in my ebook that's in there, which is called 51 Ways to Upgrade Your Vibration. Now, I wrote this ebook, I think I want to say 8 years ago, or sometimes I lose track of time. But in that ebook and that section there, you'll just see so many little things that are mind shifts that have transformed my life, that have gotten me to where I am today. So if you haven't already checked out the Mindspo Meditation Method and you want to kind of fast track where we're going with this podcast and really start doing the work on yourself and quietening that voice inside your head so that you can take on all of the things that I talk about and actually start implementing them from a place of peace and stillness, then go and check out the Mindspo Meditation Method. So let's dive in to the mind shift. So I want to start by talking about desires. Now, if you're anything like me, you have a certain kind of lifestyle that you want to live. And there are certain goals that you need to reach in order to get to that lifestyle, to live that life that you want. Now, I'm not just talking about big goals like a certain bank balance or a career milestone or a material achievement. Those things, they're all great. But I'm also talking about the goal of having more free time on the weekends to do absolutely freaking nothing, right? Or the goal to just be able to take a few days off on the whim because you're in control of your time and you can do what you want. Or the goal of having uninterrupted you time to do whatever it is you want to do. These for me have all been really big goals. Yeah, I'm always talking about you're living your big life and doing that. But for me, my big life is a life of freedom of money, time, lifestyle. This is really the huge goal for me. And this is what I have been continually working towards. And there is one fundamental mind shift that I have made that I want to help install in your mind that I really believe has helped me to create so much more freedom in my life. And the mindset is, if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a no. Let me say that again. In life, if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a no. Even saying if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a no, this gets me so fired up because the amount of energy that this mind shift, that this statement has caused me to experience in my life, the ripple effect of this mind shift is huge. Now, this mindset and this mind shift was actually inspired by another teacher that I absolutely love called Marie Folio. And I did a program of hers years ago. And in this program, she had this module called the No Train. And the No Train was this kind of, this journey that you stepped on, this train that you stepped on, where you just started to say no to things in your life. And this was revolutionary for me. This was such a big shift because at the time when I discovered this concept that if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a no, it gave me this energetic framework in order to work off. And that is what I want to give you today. I want to give you this energetic framework so you can create more energy in your life, so you can start saying yes to the things that are actually in alignment, that feel like a full body fuck yeah. And you can start saying no to the things that actually do not feel like a fuck yeah, that feel like they're limiting you, that they're draining you, that they're contracting you. So I want to do an exercise with you. So if you are somewhere that you can close your eyes, I want you to close your eyes during this. And I want this to be experiential. I love nothing more than taking people through experiences. That's why I do my retreats. Personal development is not just about a mindset journey and feeling things in your mind. It is also about an embodied experience. So we want to have an embodied experience with this teaching right now. So close down your eyes. Once you have your eyes closed, I want you to think back to something that you committed yourself to, that you followed through with, that really was a no. Something that you said yes to that actually was a no for you, but you followed through with anyway. Think back to this event or this commitment. Maybe it's a party that you went to that you didn't really want to go to, or maybe it's something that you overpromised in your business or in your job that really wasn't in alignment. Think back to this thing that you said yes to that really was a no. Feel how doing that thing felt in your body. Feel the pressure. Feel the energy. The time. Feel how that thing made you feel. Really go into that energy right now. Maybe it's a feeling of busyness, of constriction, of overwhelm. Just allow yourself to feel it. See how your body pressure is. Notice how you're breathing. And just take note of this feeling. What it feels like to do things that you actually don't want to do. All right, now gently open your eyes. And now before we go into our next one, I want you to shake it off. You can hear my bracelets going, so shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Shake your hands, take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. And we're going to do a quick elevate, which is at the beginning of this podcast. This is called the Mindspo Elevate method. So I want you to close your eyes down, roll your shoulders back, elongate your spine. Take a deep breath in as you take your right hand to your heart. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. One more. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Shoulders back, spine nice and straight. Unclench your jaw. Allow your mind to go to that person, place, or thing that you have gratitude for. Allow yourself to expand into the joy, the gratitude, the appreciation that's available to you at all times, in all places, in all spaces. Think of that person, place, or thing that brings you gratitude right now. And bring your energy back to a place of expansion, of elevation, knowing that it feels good to feel good. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. All right, open your eyes. Okay, so now we've cleared the slate. I want you to close your eyes down one last time. And as you close your eyes down, I want you to think back to something that you said yes to recently that was a full body fuck yes. Something that felt like expansion, that felt like growth, that felt like elevating, something that just felt so in alignment with your values and what you want to be doing, that felt like such a good use of your time, something that filled you up. Allow yourself to feel those feelings now. Allow yourself to feel into what it feels like to say yes to the things and do the things that you really want to do. The things that are a fuck yes for you in your life and where you're going. Feel it in your body. Feel it fully in your body, see it in your mind, allow yourself to experience it. What does it feel like? What is the energy? How are you sitting? Take notice of everything that you're feeling right now, energetically, mentally, physically, spiritually. Take note of it. All right, take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go as you gently open your eyes. Okay. Now, that is the feeling of a fuck no, and that is a feeling of a fuck yeah. And I want you to be aware of those two feelings because for me, as I have developed this mindset of if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a no, I have noticed so often that my mind wants to say yes to things that really are not a fuck yeah. My mind wants to say yes to things because I think about other people's expectations or shoulds or, I really should make the effort to do this, or this person really would like it if I did that, and what will happen if I don't? They're going to think this of me. I quite often, my mind will say yes, but my body will be saying no. And as I've developed this mindset that if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a no, what I have had to learn to do is not say yes from my mind, but say yes from my body. I only say yes to things that feel like a full body expanded yes. That's how I tap into what I really want, what really turns me on, what I really want to do in my life. I don't think about things, I feel into things. And there is such a big difference. So now that you have this awareness of what a full body fuck yes is, I want to invite you to install this mindset in your life and start playing with saying no. Start playing with this concept of if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a no. And I'm going to help you do this because here's the thing. When you say yes to something, at the same time, you're actually saying no to something else. And that thing that you were saying no to, that thing down the road could be your full body fuck yeah. Because maybe you have said yes to so many things that you actually wanted to say no to, that you actually don't have any time, any space, any energy, any bandwidth in order to say yes to the things that are actually a fuck yes. So you have to look at your time, look at your energy and realize that time is the most precious and valuable resource that you have. In this life, in this time-space reality, you can get smarter, you can get wiser, you can get richer, but you can't get younger. You can't get more time. Time is finite. You only have so much time in this planet, in this life, in this body. You only have so much time as you. So you've got to value your time. You've got to value your energy, and you've got to start realizing this is your most precious resource. And you don't just give this out to anyone or anything. And when you do that, you're going to end up regretting it down the road because you're going to look back and go why was I giving so much of the thing that I had, the only thing that I have that I can't get more of, to people that I don't even like, to things that I weren't even in alignment, doing things that I didn't even want to do. I get so fired up about this, right? So a few things I want to say here is that when you say yes to something, when you say yes to things that are a fuck yeah, what I've learned is saying yes to things that are a fuck yeah, they have an afterglow effect. Saying yes to fuck yes things, they feel like expansion. They feel like they have a ripple effect in my life. When I say yes to things that are a fuck yeah, they feel like they fill me up, that they recharge me. They help me be a better person. They help me be a better teacher. They help me be a better partner. They help me be a better boss. These are the things that help me fill myself up. Now, when I say yes to things that are actually really a no, I feel like these have a ripple drag on effect. These things feel like they drain me, and they don't just feel like they drain me in the moment that I do the thing or that I follow through on the commitment. They feel like they drain me after the fact. They feel like the next day I wake up and I'm like, oh gosh, now I'm more overwhelmed because I just kind of committed myself to doing this thing that I didn't even want to do. And now I have so much on my plate and I'm so busy that I haven't got the space to really put the energy and attention to the things that I want to be be putting in, or maybe I go hang out with someone that I really didn't want to spend 3 hours with, or, half a day with, but I committed and I said yes and I did it, but like it didn't feel good. And I feel like I've left with just so much like heaviness and energy. So when you start to feel into this and start to understand how these things affect you, you start to have more value on your time. You start to have more value on how you actually respond to things and how you actually like commit yourself to different things. And something I really want to say here that will help you is start to understand and know the season that you're in, and understand that every single season that you're in, every season is going to have a different set of values. Now, my fuck yeses are changing all the time. Month to month, week to week, there are certain things that feel like a fuck yes one month that feel like a no the next month. And this all has to do with the season that I'm in. One month I might be in a season of just letting loose, having fun, not working, being in the flow. And the month after that, I might be in a season of batch filming, getting content out, creating a program, redoing a retreat schedule. And so in those different months, those different seasons, there are going to be things that feel good in one month, and then there are going to be things that don't feel good the other month. So when you can get really clear on like what is the season that you're in and what are the values that are in alignment for that season, this is going to help you get really clear on what feels like yes and what feels like no. So an action step that you can do here is ask yourself, what is the season that I'm in? Like literally title the season that you're in right now. Write it down. Are you in your season of expansion? Are you in your season of mindful hustle? Are you in your season of health? Are you in your season of wealth? What is the season that you're in? And what are the values that you can live in alignment to that are going to help you live out that season in the best way possible? So now I want to get into some strategies to help you say no. Now that you know the season of life you're in, the values that are a match for that season of life, you energetically know what it feels like to say fuck yes in your body. You also energetically know what it feels like to say yes to something that's actually a no in your body. Once you're aware of all of those things, this is when you can start actually saying no. And here are the strategies to help you do this. The first strategy I want to share with you is called the rejection to redirection method. This is really when you would say something along the lines of, hey, no, I can't make this, but let's do another time. Now, this is something that I really use on a very regular basis. I often reject things, but redirect things. And this is a way of saying no that really helps you get closer to a fuck yes. And I want to give you an example of when I would use this method. So a lot of the time people invite me to hang out with them, or they want to see me and they want to spend some time with me. And I really love spending time with my friends and catching up with people. However, I'm quite sensitive as a person to my surroundings, my environment, and there are certain things that I don't really want to do at this stage in my life because I'm just kind of in a different season. A classic example for the sake of this podcast is I'm 8 months sober right now. And although I go out with my friends that are drinking and we go out for dinners and stuff and there's no issues there, something that would be an absolute no for me right now is if someone that I really wanted to catch up with decided they wanted to invite me to catch up with them in a nightclub or in a very like loud outdoor kind of drinking environment. Now, it would be a fuck yes to catch up with that person, to see them, to have coffee with them, to go on a walk with them, to connect with them, to have that quality time. But the environment that they want me to have quality time in, or that they're suggesting for me to catch up with them in, wouldn't be in alignment. So this is when I would use the rejection to redirection method. And that's a no, I can't do that, but how about we do this? Or how about we do another time? I also use this method when someone wants to connect, or maybe someone invites me on a podcast or for a work opportunity, but I'm fully strapped out at the moment. I for some reason, I can't show up on the date or the time that they wanted to get me on. So I would say something along the lines of, hey, thank you so much for the opportunity. This sounds great and in alignment. However, right now, I don't have the capacity for this. Could we schedule another time? And in that case, I'd give them like 3 months or 2 weeks later or something like that. So this is a way that you can say no and get closer to your fuck yes, but be aware of where you're at right now. I use this method all the time, and this has really helped me just make sure that I say yes to things in a time space that works for me, rather than working on other people's schedules and other people's timelines. Because a lot of the times the opportunities that come up, they will still be there if you express that you're interested in them, you commit to them, but then you maybe delay them a little bit so that it's more in alignment with you. I hope that makes sense. The next one that I have for you, this one's my savage one, but this is the lesson and the strategy and really the shift to understand that no is a full sentence. No does not require an explanation. Now, this is one that I really used to struggle with, because when I first started saying no to things, I said no by sending a paragraph of why I couldn't. I had to explain myself and justify myself and get them to see my point of view. And I was saying no from this like incredibly disempowered place. I was saying no from this place of, no, I can't do this, but here are all the victim reasons why I can't. And it was just really icky. And it also just felt like the no actually didn't feel good. Like I would have just preferred to say yes, because saying no felt like it came with me having to lower myself for this person and try and justify and explain. And it put me in this really just like low confidence kind of energy. So the thing that I want to share with you here, the strategy is when you say no, is just stop explaining yourself. Literally just in life, stop over explaining yourself. You don't have to over explain yourself. You don't have to justify all of your decisions. Get used to saying no and just being okay with saying no and letting people just accept no for no. And something really interesting about this is a lot of the time, people will just accept your no. It's just that you need to accept the no as well. Because a lot of the time, the justification and the explaining comes from us not feeling confident enough or not feeling in our power enough to hold the space of actually saying no. So this really just comes with practice. Something that I used to do years and years and years ago, and it sounds wild to say this now, and I'm like, I can't believe I used to do this, but I really did. When I first started saying no to things and really just taking my power back, and I stopped people pleasing and just kind of burning myself out at both ends, I would look myself in the eyes in the mirror and I would literally say, no, thank you. No, that doesn't work for me. Like I would say lines like this to myself over and over and over because I was never used to saying the word no. I was always a yes person. I was always a people pleaser. So get used to just saying no. Like literally look at yourself in the mirror and verbalize it. Practice it. This can be so helpful, especially if you need to speak to someone or you need to tell someone you can't do something. Practice in the mirror what it feels like to embody your actual truth. Because a lot of the time we're having this experience in our head, but when we're actually talking to someone, it's a real life experience. It's not just in your head, it's in your body. So allow yourself to embody that no. Roll your shoulders back, elongate your spine, unclench your jaw, say no, and feel empowered saying that word. The last strategy is one that can sound like it's contradicting the other ones, but I really wanted to include it because I feel like all these different strategies are good for different times and different people and different seasons. And the last strategy I have is called the vulnerability response. Now, this is a reply that I use and a strategy I use when I actually want to have more vulnerability about my mental health. And I think this is so important because there have been many times in my life where I have said no to things or I've had to learn to say no to things because of my mental health, because I was stressed out, I was overloaded, I was reaching burnout, my bandwidth was just stretched too much. And when I say no to these things, I didn't want to just say no and not give any context. I wanted them to understand where I was at energetically. So some responses I would say for this is, hey, no, I can't do that. I actually don't have the bandwidth right now. And when you say something like that, people go, oh, it's actually not about me. It's about where they're at. And then they'll take it so less personally. Another one that I have is, that sounds amazing, but you know what? My body right now, it just really needs rest. I just need to stay in this weekend by myself and recharge. I hope you have a great time. Or another one is, I haven't been feeling myself lately, so I'm just going to take some time to recharge. I use these kind of responses and these no's a lot of the time when I could be present at the event or the situation, or I could say yes to the thing, but I actually wouldn't have any presence. It wouldn't actually be present because I myself am depleted. My bandwidth is low. I haven't actually got the energy for it. So yeah, I could show up, but really it's not a good idea. I really hope those strategies help you say no on a more regular basis and start getting you to lean into to this idea that if it's not a fuck yes, it's a no. And something else I want to say that has been really big for me in this journey, because I've been on like the no train, I would say like for 10 years now. Like I literally started doing this 10 years ago, and now this is just like part of my DNA. And this is really kind of, I feel, a stepping stone to creating stronger boundaries, which is really interesting because it's funny. I now have had so many people vocalize to me that have worked with me, whether they're like people that come on retreats or friends or people that just get to know me. I always have people say to me, Rochelle, you have amazing boundaries. Like people always give me this compliment to me about my boundaries. And when I think about where my boundaries come from, it comes from this concept of like really understanding like what is a fuck yes for me and what is a no. Like this is one of my fundamental things. Like I said, this is one of the mind shifts that has shaped me. And on this journey of getting clearer on my yes and my no's, something that I have learned is that these days, I am so less concerned with other people's disappointments or their perceived disappointments of me. If someone is disappointed by me or upset or frustrated or has an expectation and I didn't fulfill that expectation, I don't feel too much into that. I'm just like, okay, that's interesting. Tell me more about it and maybe we can adjust things. But I don't like pander to other people's expectations of me. I just don't kind of like live in that time space reality, not because I don't care about what other people think or how other people feel. I just realize that other people's feelings and emotions and their expectations are their own. Like I don't own someone else's expectation. And I feel like this is something that a lot of people pleasers kind of get in this trap of doing, where they feel like they own the expectations of others. Like if someone has an expectation of them, they take it on as an expectation they have of themselves. Other people's expectations of me are their expectations. But a lot of the time, other people have expectations of me that I don't even have of myself. So of course I'm not fulfilling your expectation because that's just like not what I'm expecting of myself, if that makes sense. And something that I have learned is that I'm not really concerned with other people's expectations of me, but I am very concerned with my expectations of myself. I really have expectations of myself and who I am as a person, how I show up, what I expect of myself. And in order to fulfill those expectations, I need to have time to be able to say yes to my fuck yes things. And if we go all the way back to the beginning of this podcast, I was talking to you about more freedom for time, more freedom of energy, more freedom of just like everything in your life, and saying no to things that are not my fuck yes. This is the thing that gives me freedom. Like a lot of the times I'm like saying no to things that are opportunities or things that people want me to do or things that people are asking of me because I actually want to say fuck yes to just like being by myself, like spending time alone, like having the day completely off without technology, without recording, without showing up. Like I just want my time for myself. And if I just lived up to everyone's expectation of me or everyone's to-do of me or everyone's request of me, oh my God, I would have no time for myself. And this is the thing that has been so like shifting for me, because when I live in alignment with my own expectations of myself, that's when I'm happiest. And that's when you're going to be happy as well. That's when you're going to be your happiest. Because the thing is, even if you feel you have to live up to someone else's expectations, at the end of the day, if you keep doing that, you'll soon realize after some time that, wait, you're not living up to the expectations of yourself. You're not living up to your own values. So yeah. Anyway, I could rant on this for ages, but I really want to leave you with the last thing that I'm going to say. And that is really when you start embodying this, if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a no in your life. I know from my heart of hearts that you are going to live a life that is so much more aligned with what you actually want, who you actually want to be, what you actually want to be doing. And the first step to doing that is to start doing the things that you want, not by following what everyone else wants of you, not by following what society expects or what your mom expects or your parents or your friends, living up to your own values, living in alignment with the season that you're in, that is when you are going to start feeling that joy, that happiness, that peace, that expansion. Everything that you want comes from really living in a place of alignment. And in order to live in a place of alignment, you've got to really stop saying yes to things that are actually not aligned. And if you want something that will help you with this, if you feel that you don't have the confidence to say no and you have that voice inside your head that is going at 1,000,000 miles an hour, giving you all of these reasons why you should just go and say yes and do it anyway, and you're worried about what other people think, as I said at the beginning of this episode, meditation is really going to help you with this. Meditation is what is going to help you find peace within and silence that inner voice. And you can learn meditation with me, and I can be your meditation teacher by signing up to the Mindspo meditation method. So go check that out. It will be in the show notes. It is our signature course. And in that, you'll also find my ebook, 51 Ways to Upgrade Your Vibration, which has loads more tips and tricks and mindset shifts that have gotten me to the place that I am today and living the life that I have been living. So I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for joining me for this episode. You can discover more from Mindspo on Instagram and TikTok by following @Mindspo and myself @Rochelle_Fox. If this episode inspired you, then please pass it on and share the love. And if you're new to our world and you want to elevate your mind and step into your best self, then be sure to download our app, Manifesty, from the App Store and take advantage of the free trial. With Manifesty, you can create your own vision board movies, practice powerful meditations, and set affirmation reminders so your phone supports your journey towards that abundant vision of your future. And lastly, always remember, you create your own reality. So go and make some magic.